Welcome to the Transform My Dance Studio podcast, the only podcast for dance studio owners, where each week we bring you business growth strategies to help you increase your profits, impact the lives of more students, while ensuring you get back some time to have a little life outside of the studio. It's time for you to become the go-to studio in your area. Now, here's your host, founder of the Dance Studio Owners Association, Clint Salter.
Hey, it's Clint, and before we get started, I wanted to tell you about a brand new guide that we've put together for you. 9 simple secrets to creating the perfect studio handbooks that save you hours. Now, this must-have guide is going to teach you how to drastically reduce the amount of questions you receive from parents, students, and teachers, which means you're going to get back hours every single day. In this free guide, I'm going to teach you the 3 must-have handbooks that you need in your studio that are going to save you hours per day. I'm also going to share with you what 93% of studio owners forget to include on the first page of their handbooks that dramatically increases the number of people that read your handbooks. And I'm going to dive into the exact language you should use in your handbooks that gets your studio families paying closer attention. Wouldn't it be great not to receive that, text message at like 10 p.m. at night? Well, that's what I'm giving you in this brand new free guide, 9 simple secrets to creating the perfect studio handbooks that save you hours. All you need to do is text the number 44222 with the word handbook guide. So text the number 44222 and the word handbook guide, all one word. Now, if you're outside of the USA, you can easily go to our website, dancestudioownersassociation.com/free guide. Okay, dancestudioownersassociation.com/free guide to get access to our brand new guide. Now, let's get on with the show. Hey there, dance studio owners. Welcome to the Transform My Dance Studio podcast. It's Clint here, and I'm so happy that you're joining us for today's episode. Today's guest is going to help you understand and implement a Facebook strategy that works and isn't going to cost you a whole lot of money in ad spend. Marie Page is one of the UK's leading Facebook marketing experts. I'm excited for you to be here, Marie. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. It's great to be with you.
Awesome. So before we get started, Marie, tell us a little bit about your journey. What do you do and who do you help?
Sure. I started off years and years ago as an old school PR person. This is before the days of the internet. So moving into social media was quite a natural progression for me once Facebook and Twitter and everything came about. So today I run an agency called The Digitarati and an online training organization called The Digitarati Academy. My particular focus is Facebook marketing. I actually did a master's degree a few years ago and spent 3 years completely immersed in researching Facebook. I've written a book fairly recently about the Facebook newsfeed algorithm, which we will probably be discussing in a while. And we do anything from free support online. This morning, we discovered a fantastic new feature on Facebook whereby if you run a Facebook group, you can now post within the group as a page and you can link your pages and groups together. So I've been creating videos and blog posts and tweeting and Facebooking about all of that this morning. So we're trying to get really up-to-date changes in social out to the people that follow us. And so we'll hopefully be able to touch on some of the new things as we go through this chat today, Clint.
Oh my God, I'm so excited because it's one of the things that our studio owners really struggle with is the fact that it's always evolving and it's always changing. That button you clicked last week is not there anymore, and there's a new button, or that page, something's changed with the page or with our group. Or
I know it's just so hard for people to keep up. Not least that everything changes in terms of the settings, and if you're not completely on top of it, you're really missing out. But for page admins who so often aren't full-time marketers, they're running all sorts of other responsibilities as well. And, they do what they think is the best thing to do on social media, but actually it's a practice that was outdated several years ago. And sometimes in the case of Facebook, it can actually be something that gets you penalized or will throttle the reach of your posts. So you really do need to try and stay on top of it if you can.
So important. I'm with you there. I want to touch on organic reach with Facebook because
Sure.
I think it's something that has changed dramatically over the last couple of years. As beforehand, our studio owners could, post on a page, hey, look at like our preschool, our Broadway baby ballet class, and post their classes on their page, and everyone would see it. But that's changed. People are not seeing what we post on our page. So what should we be doing when it comes to running our Facebook page now?
Okay, well, let's just make sure we understand what we mean by reach. So reach is the number of people that see something that you post on your page. And that may be seen by your fans, people that like your page, or it may occasionally be seen by some other people as well. We call that viral reach. So if one of your fans likes or comments or shares something that you've shared, then that may well show in their news feeds and some of their friends will see that as well. So Facebook calls this reach, the number of people, the sum total of people that see that, as organic reach. And you'll find nowadays the average organic reach is around about 12%. So 12% of your fans will see what you post. Now, loads of pages see loads less than this. Remember, this is an average.
Yeah.
Sometimes it is as low as 2%. 5 years ago, it would have been up at 30, 40, 50%. So it's really frustrating for page owners. And it's one of the reasons that you're encouraged all the time to boost posts or to create ads, because like that, you're guaranteed that a larger number of people can see what you're posting. One of the changes that's happened in the last couple of years on Facebook is when Facebook perceives some content as being promotional in nature. So if you're talking about a sale, or you're talking about how much something costs, or a new course or something like that, Facebook's very good at picking up that that's promoting something to do with your business. And frankly, isn't that why we're all using Facebook in the first place? And it will throttle the reach of that because it doesn't want people's news feeds to be full of promotional content. So if your stuff is very overtly promotional, you're going to need to pay to get that out there. But of course, you can use words and images that aren't overtly promotional in nature and kind of slip under the radar a little bit like that.
Great. Okay. That's helpful. I'm really intrigued by what you said before around pages and posting in a group. So can you tell us more about that? What's happening there?
Sure. Well, the algorithm is a set of 100,000 factors that Facebook uses to decide what a user sees on their newsfeed. The algorithm for pages is pretty severe, and it means that a lot of what you post simply won't be seen by your fans. The algorithm for groups is a lot less severe. So we're seeing a lot more active marketers jumping across into getting people into groups rather than pages, because you're way more likely to see something in a group that you're a member of than a page that you're a fan of. So what's rolled out to me today, and I know it's been available in the States on and off for a few days or a couple of weeks now, is that if you've got a page and a group that you've created and you're an admin for both of those things, you can associate that group with your page. So say you're Dance Academy, and that's your page, and you've got a group that you as an admin have, some say maybe Dance Academy members, and that's the group. You can now link those two things together. So we have a blog post and live on our blog at the moment. It's is it possible for me to just share some links afterwards, Clint?
Yeah,
or do you want me to? Okay, well, I'll just share some links later so folks can get straight to that. And there's a little how-to video and that sort of thing. You just go to settings and edit page, and you can probably figure it out from there if you're used to the back end of Facebook. But if not, super easy little video and blog post that shows you how to do that. The other thing that's really useful in there is that traditionally in groups, you can only post a comment or post a new piece of material as yourself, as your profile. And for some organizations, they really want to be able to do that as the page. So they have a degree of anonymity in that. And that's been rolled out now as well. Now, I work with some organizations that work with quite vulnerable people, and they kind of don't want their staff to have a major profile. They'd rather sort of hide under the brand umbrella. So rather than creating Facebook page profiles, they're now going to be able to have them post in the group as the page. So there's a degree of anonymity there. I wouldn't necessarily recommend that for most of your dance studio owners because their persona and who they are is very much going to be part of their brand.
Totally.
But it's a useful little thing.
But
to
yeah,
know,
I think I'm a big advocate for people by people. So the personality behind the studio is crucial.
Yeah.
But in saying that, I think this is really valuable for our studio owners because inside of their groups that they run for maybe their competition team or their studio as a whole that has, parents and students inside, they're getting a lot of customer service based questions there. And so I think it's quite valuable actually to post from the page's account.
Totally, because you're posting as the brand, as the admin, and it's all admin related stuff. So you're posting links to FAQs and that kind of thing. So yeah, really makes a lot of sense. And often I'm a member of some groups and I haven't got a clue who the admins are. And, I ended up having a little bit of a row with someone on a migraine support group the other day because she was posting what I felt was some really inappropriate dietary advice. And then I realized ages after that she was actually one of the group admins. So it's like, what is the point of arguing with her? She's never going to change her mind.
Yeah. And then they kicked you out of the group.
No, they didn't actually. She just, she kind of threw her weight around. And I thought, this is a bit of a strange way for someone to be acting. And then when I realized she was one of the admins, she was basically Queen Bee. And, her word goes was like, well, whatever. Yeah. I'll shut up now.
Yeah, I love it. Marie, in terms of the type of content, on our Facebook pages that we're posting, what people get so stuck, our studio owners get really stuck around what should I post today? Should I post an image? Should I post a video? I mean, can you talk a little bit about the content strategy
sure.
from a page perspective?
Absolutely. Well, what Facebook wants you to do is to make it really interesting and as creative as possible. So I would suggest that you mix your content types up so you're not constantly just posting a link to your blog or whatever. The one type of content that Facebook absolutely loves is video, and its favorite type of video is Facebook Live video. So I would suggest that you should be all over that, at least once a week, posting some live video, if not more often than that. And if you don't feel you can do that much live video, then natively uploaded video to Facebook is the next best thing. If you're posting YouTube video, Facebook actually treats that as a link and it doesn't have that much juice in the algorithm. So links aren't terribly good. There's a couple of content types, 3 content types, in fact, that I think I'd recommend as a bit of a sort of Cinderella under the radar types. Events and offers are both quite unusual. So they grab attention because we like to see things that are different, but also the algorithm treats them very well. So if you've got events that you can put in, and also once you've created your event, keep going back in and updating some images in there or popping a video into the event or some kind of an update. And what you'll find both with events and offers is that Facebook will not only send that to people when you post it, but if they've clicked to take the offer up or clicked to say they're interested in the event, Facebook will surface that again in their newsfeed as the event or the offer comes closer. So they can work really nicely. The one other type as well is notes, Facebook notes. You may not even be familiar with these. They've been around on Facebook for years. But notes are kind of an evergreen piece of content. And again, because they're quite unusual, they kind of look a little bit like blog posts really, but within the Facebook hosting. And they can be worth having a look at as well. So, just like I say, mix it up, make it really nice and creative, and don't try and be too promotional about it.
Yeah, sure. When it comes to, I want to talk about boosting posts because something that our studio, we talk a lot about Facebook ads inside of our programs in our association, but something we're finding that our members are having a lot of success with is, boosting posts, whether it's a video clip from Saturday's, preschool dance class or a quick interview with a teacher, and it's getting a lot of reaction. People are reaching out and saying, "Hey, can I come to class?" Where do boosted posts work compared to actually putting an ad together?
Okay, well, boosts are the really easy way of getting the word out and giving Facebook some ad revenue. They are a form of ad. There'd be a few things that I'd say in relation to boosts. One is to be really careful about your targeting. So if you really only want this to go to your fans, just have it going to your fans. If you only want it in a particular geographic area, which I'm sure is the case with your studio owners, restrict it to that area, restrict it to certain age profiles. It could work, I imagine, well for friends of fans as well, because lots of people that are going to dance studios or their kids are, their friends. Facebook friends would be as well. So that could work quite nicely. What I often do with a boost is that I'll hit the boost and there's fairly limited targeting available within that kind of interface on Facebook. But once it's live, I then go into the ads manager or into Power Editor if you're a bit more of a au fait user of Facebook ads. And I then tweak the targeting a little bit further. So again, if it's not let you tweak the age or the geography as well as you might like, I would do that. The other thing I would do is perhaps look at things like website custom audiences. So you can use Facebook's pixel on your website, and you can then create an audience of people that have been on the website and within the last 180 days, and you can target boosts or ads to those. You can target them to people that have been on a particular page. So I don't know, if you've got a production that you're selling tickets to and people have been on that particular page, you can either boost to those. You'd have to set up as a saved audience. Some of this is getting a little bit tricky. We actually have got a masterclass available in our academy for all of that. But, if you're au fait with Facebook ads, those are all kind of ideas that you can do. But yes, do look at boosting. Just be really careful with your targeting and don't go crazy about the amount of money you need to spend. You can put a few dollars in and really increase your reach there. One other thing about, you were saying that people are posting video. It's a really good idea to pop subtitles on your video, because something like 80% of people that watch video on Facebook do so with the sound off. So if you've got, I don't know, it may just be a little performance that maybe you've done in a rehearsal or performance from the live show, just to pop a little subtitle on, maybe saying what it's all about, who's starring, a little bit of fun in there, and who, what the dance organization is, what the piece is, all that kind of stuff. It just means that people can see something more than just whatever it happens to be on screen. So subtitles are a good way of moving forward with that.
Totally. Great tips there. Marie, let's talk about rejection from Facebook. When we post an ad and it gets rejected, what should we be looking out for? What should we be doing when it comes to putting together an ad?
Okay, well, there's the out-and-out rejection, which will be because Facebook thinks the ad has broken some of its ad policies. Now, I've done quite a lot of work in the health and fitness industry, which I think is probably the closest in terms of the fairly tight guidelines that it has to where your members will be getting hit, really. And ads that Facebook deem to be within the health and fitness industry have to be targeted at over 18s. So that may be an issue there. There's also, they're really tough on nudity and showing skin, that kind of thing. So you may find that ads are being rejected because of that. Now, I've had ads rejected that I've then gone back and asked them to look at it, and they've said, oh, we shouldn't have rejected that at all. It was fine. So it's worth appealing. But you also need to be super careful, because once you're found to be having a lot of ads rejected because particularly of the nudity stuff or something that's inappropriate in it, and there's a lot of caveats, so it's worth Googling Facebook ad policies and just having a good read through of those. If you keep getting ads rejected, you do stand to go to Facebook jail, and they could close your page down, and I have seen that in the health and fitness industry. The other thing that may be happening to your members, though, is that they're just getting a warning that there's too much text on the ad. Facebook really doesn't like lots of text in the images, mainly because text in images often looks like it's an ad, and Facebook doesn't want users to think their newsfeed is full of ads. So their rule is to keep it within 20%. And it's not just, I can clearly see that there's only 20% of text on this page. It's within quite a tight grid. and only 20% of the squares on that grid can have text in. Again, if you Google Facebook 20% grid ad text, you'll find a couple of online tools that you can upload your image into. But I did an A/B test it was a management consultancy we're working with at the moment. We were running Facebook ads for them. We had 4 different ad images, one of which had no text on at all. And it was to promote a webinar on leadership. And one was an image that had just some mountaineers following someone up a mountain. Obvious image for leadership. No text at all. And that massively outperformed images that we'd pulled together that had some text on that were more to do with a webinar and had a computer screen on and people sitting around a boardroom table that you'd think logically should have performed really well. And it just shows that you don't need text in an image for an ad to work. You've got other places that you can put text, at the top and the bottom of the ad that has nothing to do with the image at all.
Mm-hmm. Such great tips. The other thing, aside from being rejected from Facebook, the other thing our studio owners are facing, and the challenge at the moment, is around music.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're posting a video with the latest song from a class, and their videos aren't being approved, and some of them have been banned. And they're not lifting the ban for maybe a couple of weeks from them.
Yeah, Facebook jail.
It's
no fun.
Facebook jail is not very fun. And so what should we be doing around the music side of things?
Okay, I've actually done a little bit of research on this for you. I actually run a page that's to do with music, so I am fairly aware of licensing issues. So some background, first of all. If you post a video to YouTube, you shouldn't have any problem with this because YouTube has a copyright system that's a little bit like Shazam, whereby it will listen to the music, it will identify the piece that's being performed, and it will immediately slap an ad onto that YouTube video, and a proportion of the revenue from those ads will go to the correct publisher, songwriter. Yeah. So that's a way of YouTube legally letting you use music in your videos. So that's great for YouTube. Facebook has not got such a copyright system in place. There are rumors, and Facebook has said that they're working on it. They're looking to develop it, but it's not in place at the moment. So their kind of blanket thing at the moment is if you don't own that music or you don't have permission to use it, they will potentially ban you from doing it. Now, a few workarounds. It might be worth trying to use music that is less than 15 seconds in duration, because there is some legalities to say that you're allowed to use a 15-second sample clip. Now, I've not tested this, but it would be worth you trying that to see if you can keep those clips to within 15 seconds.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you're using license-free music, and there are publishers that exist that provide license-free music, you could do that. But I know that quite often you'll just want the latest, stuff that's been played on the radio, and that's what people want to do. The other workaround, and this is far from ideal, but you could put the video up onto YouTube and then share a link from the YouTube video into Facebook. Now, because of the algorithm stuff I've talked about earlier, Facebook doesn't like YouTube videos very much, so you won't get as much reach and it won't show as nice and big on newsfeed as a native Facebook video will. But it is a workaround and you won't be penalized because YouTube is the host in this case, and they've got the copyright sorted out. So I hope that's helpful. I'd love to know whether the 15-second trick works or not. I did see a lawyer actually recommending the 15-second thing. So yeah, possibly worth a try.
That's a great tip. Yeah, because like the royalty-free music doesn't really have the impact, right?
No, it's not Beyonce, is it?
Yeah, no, and it never will be. Marie, look, I'm going to wrap up our time together. It's been so great talking to you, and I want to finish on like what are your final, let's say, like 2 to 3 tips for our studio owners about really like nailing it on Facebook.
All right.
What should they be thinking about? What should they be doing? This year, if you're listening now, it's 2017. Like, where should they be putting their focus? Because there's a lot of things they could be doing, right?
Sure.
Like, what should they be like zoning in on?
Okay, well, I'm going to be a bit cheeky here because I've written a guide to the top 10 things I think people should be doing. So I'm gonna give you a link to that. You can go directly to it. It's www.getultimateguide.com. Getultimateguide.com. So your folks are welcome to take that. It's a really nice little 10. I think there's actually a bonus one. So there's 11 great tips there. But if you want me to jump to just 2, I'd suggest that you really need to look at video, and we have talked about that already. Mm-hmm. So being an early adopter to whatever is hot in social right now, and video is the thing that is hot right now. And the other thing is, I think just really focus on who your target audience is. You know, have a persona in your mind as you're writing. How old are they? What are they into? So this goes from when you're creating the content right through to who you're going to actually be spending your ad money in targeting. And I'd rather target a really, really tight target audience that I know is going to convert and work from there, because we've all got limited budget for this stuff. Rather than just going, we can just target anyone that's, I don't know, aged 15 to 30 in a particular area. Just take it really tight, maybe use some interest targeting on there as well. So I hope that's helpful. We've got a bunch of other learning stuff on our website, so it'd be great to just share some more with your folks. But I'm aware I'm not here to sell stuff. Just hope you found some of those tips useful.
Yeah, it's been fascinating chatting with you, Marie. What's your website in case people want to find out more? Sure.
No, it's a little bit of a mouthful, so you have to get it right. So the best place to go is. We've got our academy, which is Digitarati Academy. So Digitarati is spelled digit, D-I-G-I-T, and then E-R-A-T-I, digitaratiacademy.com. And I will put some links to you. And our other main website, which is where some of the blog stuff is I've talked about, is thedigitarati.com. So it's Digitarati. Don't even ask why we've got such a complicated name, all to do with other people's cyber squatting URLs. And there's a load of free stuff on our Facebook pages and groups and things as well. So I'll put some links in to you. But the best place to go to get really quick, and it's nice and easy to remember, is that getultimateguide.com. And we will, that'll have all the links there for you.
Awesome.
It's been so good to talk. And if any of your folks have got any questions, really, really happy to talk further, via Facebook or whatever.
Yeah, awesome. Loved the conversation. Thanks so much for providing a huge amount of value to our studio owners.
No worries at all. Good to talk to you, Clint. Bye-bye then.
I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Now, before I let you go, I just wanted to remind you again about our free guide, 9 Simple Secrets to Creating the Perfect Studio Handbooks that Save You Hours. Now, all you need to do is text the word handbook guide to 44222. That's text the word handbook guide to 44222 and you'll receive the guide straight away. Now, if you're outside of the US, just go to our website, dancestudioownersassociation.com/free guide. That's dancestudioownersassociation.com/free guide. And we'll shoot that guide across to you in your inbox within minutes. Really, this guide is going to change the way that you communicate inside of your studio, saving you so many hours a week asking those repetitive questions. Okay, have a great day, and I'll see you next week for the podcast. Bye for now.
Thank you for joining us today. For all the resource links from the show and to receive access to our free dance studio growth training, make sure you visit transformmydancestudio.com.